Hello, and welcome to episode 5 of Just a Flower podcast, where I am comfy here, and I hope you are too. My name is Mario Velez for all those who are new, and I started this podcast after a spiritually transformative experience, but I do my best to aim this at everyone who needs it. So if you're watching this right now and you feel like it resonates, you feel like you need to watch it for some reason, that's because this is made for you. This is something that I'm reaching out with my aura into the universe and all of that mumbo jumbo, if you will. But I make these at least digestible for those who are not on the deep end of that spiritual syntax. So, last week, I said that I wanted to showcase how to meditate because that's something that everyone is so interested in right now. They want to know, what does it take and what is it really for? And really the second part is the thing that when people search for this, they're not looking for that. They already know meditation's probably the key, or they have this idea that meditation's going to solve a lot of their anxiety, maybe some light depression. It's not something that works for everyone. And there are so many kinds of meditation that I don't want to just limit it to this one type. There's certainly a lot of meditation guides as well. There might be a problem with me for you, and that's something that I totally understand. I can't just listen to anybody tell me what to do meditation wise. I have to feel like there's some kind of chemistry, some kind of connection. So without further ado, let's go into the poem of the day. Let's see what it really is to meditate via my filter, my personal filter, my mind and my body, and how it comes out of me. This is just the poem. We'll go into a small guided meditation later, and then we'll discuss all the different kinds that I know of so far. There's always something new out there to discover. That's the beauty of this world. It's just creating constantly. And whilst there may never ever be an original idea, the mutations are important and valid. So, without further ado, the poem. Meditate. It is time, the only time, the one you live in, the one without labels, without questions, without reason. It is now. Close your eyes. Believe in what you see, because the dream unreal is real to thee. Not the random spewing, mechanism brewing, but the visuals, the touch, that blend of emotion and breathing just enough. That your heart pumps slower and your chest feels more. Bring yourself, your focus, your attention, not with effort, but a thought, as light as the air you breathe on the very breath itself. Feel the nostrils, the trachea, the lungs, and diaphragm. Feel, fill, pull, release, and relax. All the muscles take a break, and now is all you have. But why? But how? But now? I'm no clown. This is not a jest, my friend. We all need rest. It is not the end. Take a minute, take 5, take half an hour, take as much as you have time. Let the thoughts without weight flow through and by. Then when something gives a shake, just breathe and watch what's inside. What happens after, we will see, but trust whatever it brings you is more than just a scene. It is therapy. It is psyche. It is mind over matter. It is real within. Dreams are no sin. Whether pain or pleasure, trust or betrayal, that thing you have, collecting thoughts, it needs you to rest, to watch, or it will haunt. I know you feel anxiety, like you have some unknown job. Believe me when I say, it's much easier this way. Not going to break it down. A little tempted to break down every single line because that's something that I felt a lot of this last week. I have just finished publishing a poetry collection, which is kind of a bottling up of the kind of mystical, if you will, mysterious experience as you take your first plunge into modern mysticism, which is something that I feel I haven't really touched on as much. I think 2 episodes ago, I was talking more about being automatic and how sometimes, in order to get away from something, people end up integrating that thing they do not love that ends up causing them way more grief and way more strife. And so, not integrating pain is something that it's like impossible to avoid, right? A lot of our issues are self-imposed. On a deeper level, a lot of people say this line that is just it daunted me a lot. Like, I just couldn't handle initially when I was getting into all of this stuff the idea that I myself am manifesting, making, just creating in my mind, in my heart, practically all around me, all of the pain and suffering that I was going through. And half of it is just believing that it's painful, believing that we should suffer because of the things that we're going through. That's like half of why we end up so chaotic and so twisted up inside. Half of it's just us, right? The other half is stuff that actually happens to you, experiences that are nowhere near the buttons or the mechanisms that you control. It's just things that occur, part of the universe moving through time. That's all it is. And those things, what do you do? What do you do in order to get away from that? And meditation is one of the best tools, if not the greatest tool, to get to understand the aspects of you that feel they must be heard, witnessed, honored, paid attention to. What am I talking about exactly? Is this therapy? Is this psychiatry? Not exactly. No, this is definitely not something you need a PhD for. I saw an ad recently about taking a course for like a bachelor's in consciousness, and I was like, I mean, do you really got to go to college to know you're conscious? It's something that's debated on a lot. It's something that philosophy has tapped into. There's always this question of, is there free will? Is there not? This is not about getting lost in the minutia or the syntax or the verbiage. Okay. If these words don't work, if nothing's connecting, bless you, there's more out there. Okay. But when it comes to what we're really talking about, you're getting to the bottom line. What we're talking about is just taking a break from trying to put effort into thinking. Eventually, this is what I found out just recently, but it's something that I kind of glimpsed years ago when I first started all of this. You don't really need to put effort into thought. I mean, that's obvious. There's no button you got to push. You don't have to be like working out in order to think. In fact, if anything, thinking too much screws up a lot of your plans. It screws up your timing. It screws up your job. It screws up working out in general, right? Moving, physical activity. It messes with everything when you're thinking or overthinking, obsessing, anxiously, religiously, in any way, really. And so the whole key to meditation is to bring your thoughts all the way down to zero. Oh, that's impossible. I mean, duh, it's impossible. This thing likes to do its work, you know? But it is actually possible to be focused, at the very least, on something that's not your thoughts. And that's one of the better meditations, especially for beginners. You light a candle, you stare at the flame, meditation. Boom, done. Walking meditation is a really big one. That's one that I remember doing quite a lot of because it was just easy to focus on motion rather than just ignoring my thoughts. And then there's a thing that I started talking about in I believe it was episode 2, being a layered human being, having mentality that is commenting on the mentality. It's something that a lot of people, you miss it. I missed it for a long time. It's really easy to miss that, you know? So making sure that you aren't layering thoughts. You're not trying to build a cake with your brain, you know? You're trying to deconstruct that layer. And really, what it takes is just a little bit of imagination to quell some of the harder, thicker filters and grime that's all up inside the mind. And that's it. Just a big breath, you know? Just one sigh, man. Just one sigh. Take a deep breath and just focus on the breathing. Just focus on the breathing. That's all that it really takes. You do not need to worry. And if your brain comes up with something to worry about out of habit, okay, just watch it. Oh boy. And this is what you're going to be doing with this particular meditation. We're going to give a little bit of space, just to start out with, between the thought and the thing watching the thought. Okay? I know that sounds impossible. I am my thoughts. I am the thinker. Okay, sure. If that were true, then there would be a lot of koalas that aren't alive, you know? Thinking is not what we are. We have thoughts. We collect thoughts. We collect habits. We collect ideas. We collect rituals and plans, expectations. All of that is just karma. It's just karma. That's all that karma really is. It's memory, it's history, it's something, and you've collected it, and now you are stuck with it, it seems. But the greatest news, you're not stuck with anything. You have the ability to choose what it is that you're thinking and what it is that you're doing in your mind. And the less baggage you have, the easier it is, the less inertia that you have to get from one place into another. The less inertia you have against what it is you really need. A lot of us don't take breaks. A lot of us are really hard on ourselves. A lot of us don't even know how to forgive yet. I didn't for a long time. I came from a very, very Hispanic household. And when I say that, Latinos know what I mean. But it's very, very easy to get lost in grudge mentality. And when we do that, we're invoking this habit and this ritual of hating very viscerally, very intentionally. It's something that people think, well, I'm allowed to, I deserve to be mad. Sure. Yeah, no, it's true. If something upsets you, totally be mad. But why would you want to stay there? Why would you want to stay mad at something? There was a time when I was in high school, and it happened in junior year, right before a science class, right before chemistry. I was pretty nerdy and a lot chubbier, actually. I looked puffier, you know. I was definitely more angsty. It's your teens. What are you going to do? You don't have to be that way, but it tends to be the norm, especially for the artsy fartsy types. And I was definitely very much into art, writing, literature, all that stuff, right? And on my way to class, it was a much more crowded year. It was right after Katrina. A lot of people had migrated over from New Orleans over to Houston. This is natural. That's what happens. And I don't think it was even that necessarily. See, brain tries to blame and make sense of certain things that don't make sense. But basically, when I was walking from one class to another, I got assaulted. I got smacked from someone I didn't see. They were behind me, smacked. And someone else, they might have been friends, they might not have been. I have no idea. Someone else from behind, bam, another smack. And then a third one real quick right after that. And after that, it was like maybe 3 or 4 people taking turns swatting at me when I wasn't looking at them. I just bolted down the stairs and to my science class. And it was shocking. It was definitely a traumatic experience. But after a little cry, a little, oh shit, what the fuck is happening? A little cry, a little moment to myself, a little bit of like, wow, okay, that just happened. My friends who were there were concerned. My teacher who was there was like, "What's going on? What is going on? This never happens to you. You're always really upbeat and happy. What's happening?" I let them know, you know, and they were like, "Well, we got to find them. Well, we got to go get them." And I was like, "No, no, I didn't see anybody. I don't know who did it. It was just a random event, you know." What am I going to do? Is it going to be my entire life seeking this thing that happened to me and hunting it down? Then my life is defined by this pain that I didn't cause, that I didn't ask for. Perhaps, there's a lot of people out there who want to say that oh, well, your life is planned before you're born and all this stuff, and yeah, that's super cool, right? But even on a practical level, you want to keep it really grounded, okay? If you want to make it just really simple, don't overcomplicate this kind of stuff, okay? The stuff that happens to you does not need to be integrated into you. The stuff that happens to you doesn't have to be kept emotionally inside. You don't need a grudge. I still have it. I still have that experience in my life. But by deciding what to do with the experience, I transform it into whatever I want to. Did you hear me? By deciding what to do with the experience, I have pain now, right? I have pain. What do I do with this pain? Let it go. Let it go. How do I let it go? Feel what you feel about it. Are you mad? Feel mad. Let others know. Feel mad. I wasn't mad. Nobody did it for a reason. It was a random occurrence. Doesn't really have any explanation behind it. If anything, if I knew someone from that group, if something else had happened, I mean, it might have altered it a little. If there was some big reason or some story attached to it, then it would be trying to understand, trying to reason, seeking some kind of balancing act. Not seeking or demanding an apology, but letting the person know that's wrong. Don't do that to me again. That kind of thing, you know? And it's not necessary when there is no story attached to it. That's it. It's just, it happened. I was sad. It hurt. I let it go. And I didn't even know how to meditate back then. I just was like that. I just didn't care for pain that didn't matter already, that didn't have any emotional weight on it already. So those kind of occurrences happened once or twice, I think. I can't really remember anything else that was that dramatic, but definitely there were some moments where, when you're young, you're experimenting with what it is to be cool or right or wrong or interesting or have a good time, the most fun that you can have. And, it's just, what are you going to do? So that's what I chose to do in that moment. And it's not like I was perfect. Much later, there were things that happened in my life that were traumatizing for different reasons, things before that were traumatizing for their own reasons. And I did not choose to just let it go. I chose to hold grudges. I chose to feel like it was someone else's fault that I felt that way. And I would say to my younger self, of course, those things that I thought were someone else's fault, if I had more awareness of what I looked like to them, if I listened even a little bit more, if I just tried to compassionately understand, there would be a lot less confusion. There'd be far more clarity into how I am part of that situation. And there would be no need to forgive, because understanding why someone does something makes it clear that anyone would have done that if they were in that situation, if they had the same body, the same DNA, the same emotions, the same past. When we say, oh, just you couldn't last a day in my shoes, we take that as, if I were in your physical location, then I would do something different. I always took that phrase, if I was you, if I was literally you, if I had the same past, if I had the same body, if I had the same genes, the same family, the same experiences, the same physical locations through and through from birth to the very moment, I would be just like you. That's something I've felt for a long time as just a very like common sense thing. And yet, with enough time and enough experience and just enough ignorance, not naivety, but ignorance, ignoring a thing, ignoring what you can be aware of, you end up feeling like you're slighted. You end up feeling like expectations aren't being met, like standards have been ignored, like everyone should be on the same page. But the truth is, there is no such thing as common sense. Every bit of common sense that you see or you hear is very, very local, very, very local. And the most localized one is expectation within the self. Ideas about where you should end up because of what you've been doing so far, which is only the future and the past. You see how your thoughts are just obsessed with everything that isn't right in front of you? Your thoughts are constantly wondering, well, I was back there, now I'm going to go over there. But for some reason, your thoughts just never want to sit still and look at what's in front of them. Isn't that interesting? Why? Why does it work like that? I don't want to get too complicated. I want to keep it simple. We're just flowers, baby. We just got to be chill and take in the sunshine, wait for the rain. If there isn't enough, maybe the next day, you know? We'll see. We'll see. Thankfully, we have legs so we can walk to water. But the water of the soul, the water of your heart, the love, the compassion, the forgiveness, those are the things that feel like they're unlimited when you give them. And if you just, and I'm not saying you've got to be Christ-like immediately. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, oh, if you just breathe a little bit, boom, everything's going to be perfect. I could go on about perfection, but I think I'll wait until the next podcast for that one. When it comes to meditation, what we're doing, I'm going to bring it all the way back. When we're meditating, what we are doing is we are just taking a break from thinking on purpose. It's kind of like rinsing your mind. It's not so much the brainwash of sleep, but it's really close. I just went through a guided meditation with a group that I'm friends with, the Hawaiian IANs, and there was a hypnotist who explained hypnotism in the best way I've ever heard it before, which was so much different than what I had heard of it before. No one really explained this part of it, but he said that basically it is an altered state of sleep. It's distinct from sleep, but it's pretty much sleep except that you are conscious. That's it. And when I heard that, I was like, man, that's basically meditating. The only difference is you got a guide, you know? And usually what a guide does, especially if they resonate with you, is they give you a walkthrough, something to put your focus on, usually their voice, that allows you to really let go of control. And that's all you're really trying to do, is just not control. It's just not control. Let go of controlling every moment by thinking. Because your thoughts really aren't controlling anything when they're thinking. They're just making up more stuff to obsess over, whether it's in the future or the past, whether it's pain from before or worry about pain in the future, even if it's obsessing about something you're going to receive or something that you once had that you lost, something that you have now. To be grateful for what you have now is very important. It's healthy. it builds up a little bit more optimism. I'm not trying to say go blind with happiness. What I'm saying is that when you meditate on the present moment, when you just watch your thoughts, and then the next step being to imagine, to intentionally create beautiful thoughts, you end up feeling so good, so alive, so light, not bright, but just weightless, that you flow through every moment. You don't worry about, well, what do I need? What should I do? What should I plan? I think I made a plan today for the first time in weeks. And lo and behold, I have gotten everything done on that list. It's a lot easier when you take some time to breathe. I've talked about this enough. We should do the meditation itself now. Take a nice big sigh, kind of exhale, and get comfortable. There's so many ways that you can do this, okay? But really, you have to be comfortable. And I went on the inner engineering retreat with its inner engineering completion over at Atlanta, Georgia, with Sadhguru. And that, there was this very specific asana, which is a pose. And they're very serious about this. But really the reason that those are there, besides them being important to doing it his way, right? The reason that those things are there are so that, one, you believe in this guy who's telling you to do it his way. He wants you to really put all your faith into it. He wants you to really put all your determination into it. And in order to do that, you have to invest. So investing in a specific ritual, really important. That's one. And two is that he wants you not to focus on anything. He wants you to just, okay, do just this thing. Just do this thing. It will help. And there are things, I mean, like that resonated with me completely. That was what got me right over the hill. For everyone else, they have their own way. Everyone has their own way, and that's okay. Whatever gets you to the top of that mountain, yo. Anyway, here we are. We're going to breathe. Get comfortable, sit in a cross-legged position if you like, sit in a chair. Be comfy, okay? Just be as comfy as possible without even starting, all right? It helps if you have your palms facing up because that is different. That is something that, usually your hands are down, they're balled up, you got your arms crossed, you're walking, whatever. When do you have your hands up? When you're receiving, right? When you're taking something, when you're not taking is still grabbing something, receiving, letting in, right? So your palms up, we're just receiving. We're receiving ourselves. We're not even going to do anything. We're not going to try and do something. We're just going to receive what we are. We're just going to take in whatever's there. Close your eyes. And if there's anything distracting on your person, take it off now. Okay, take a few seconds. Get whatever is distracting you. You got an itch over here? Okay, scratch that itch real quick. And then we're going to receive ourselves. We're going to receive the present moment through ourselves. Close your eyes. And then inhale through the nostrils. And exhale through the mouth. Why that specifically? The nostrils are really thin. They regulate a lot of the air, the stream, and temperature. So if you breathe in through your nostrils, you breathe out through your mouth. Breathing out through the mouth is far more relaxing. You don't want to restrict the air when it's going out. So it's way more relaxing. It's like every breath is ammunition for a sigh. In through the nose, out through the mouth. You might already have thoughts. Just breathe. Just focus on the breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Really lightly, really lightly. Don't push. There's no effort involved. Don't try. Don't overly do it. This is not a hyperventilation exercise. This is a breathing exercise. It's just as good as regular breathing. The only difference is you're doing it a little bit more attention added to it. And that makes you breathe a little deeper. That's it. That's it. It's so simple. You already won. You got to step one. Good job. Now, keep doing it. Keep doing it. I'm going to be silent for just half a minute. Do it for 30 seconds. Watch what happens inside, starting now. Halfway there, keep breathing. Keep breathing. And we're at 30 seconds. You already started thinking. I know. And that's okay. Keep closing your eyes. Keep your eyes closed. Keep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Focus on my voice. And now, watch your thoughts. Just watch them. Who is watching them? Watch those thoughts. Who is watching them? If something thinks, I am watching them, you just heard that thought. You just saw that thought. You just sensed that thought. The watcher is not the thinker. The watcher is not the thinker. Keep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep breathing. And now I'm going to teach you how to relax while you're continuing. Keep on meditating. You are meditating right now. Good job. Now, focus on your body, on the muscles in your feet, on the muscles in your legs, in your calves, in your thighs. Feel all the tendons. Feel all the joints. Go up in your awareness. Feel your hips, your waist. Feel how your torso is sitting on your pelvis. Feel the spine. Feel your gut, your chest, and keep breathing. Keep breathing. You're focusing on the body now. Much easier just to focus on the body. Not as many thoughts now. Good. Keep breathing. Did you judge yourself for thinking? Forgive yourself. Continue breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Now imagine what you're focusing on, your body parts, your muscles, your arms, your shoulders, and just relax. Maybe you had to take a sigh. Good. Just relax. If you have to take a deep breath in through the nose, sigh through the mouth, relax. I told you, but you did it. I am guiding you, but you're walking this path. You are the meditator. I am just another thought. Relax. And keep breathing. Stay there. Keep on relaxing. Keep on breathing. Keep on breathing. Now you are relaxed. Your thoughts, they might be doing something. Just watch them. Stay relaxed. Add relaxation to each thought. You are relaxing while watching your thoughts. In through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, relaxing while watching your thoughts. If something thinks, what is this? This is so silly. This is so stupid. That's a thought. That's another thought. It's another thought. You are what's seeing and feeling them. You are not the thought themselves. Keep breathing. You're doing good. Keep breathing. Now, focused on the body, focused on the breath, focused on the watching. Between these thoughts, what is there? Focus on that if you can. Just watch. If a thought comes, cool. Let it go. All right. Keep breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep breathing. Keep watching. Keep breathing. Keep watching. A thought comes in saying, you can't do this. Another one goes out saying, yes, we are. We are doing it now. There's no need to believe. There's no need to doubt. It's just happening. You're breathing. You're meditating. Whatever comes, whatever goes, you're meditating now. Keep going. Keep breathing. Good. Now we're going to do one more thing while we're meditating. We're going to do one last thing. We're going to imagine. I want you to take a concern. I want you to think on purpose now. It'll be much clearer. A concern, a big one, something that you just can't handle thinking about, something that just bothers you as soon as it pops up. I want you to imagine it, a scene, a person, a situation, an event. I want you to take 3 steps back in your mind and just look at it from a distance. Just add a little space with a bit of attention and keep breathing, keep relaxing. You feel even more relaxed now. More relaxed than you've ever been thinking about this thought, this situation, this person, this scene. Now you see it's far away. It's not right up close to your face. It's far away. Maybe it's on a TV screen. Maybe it's a painting. Maybe you have a good distance from you to it. Whatever it comes up like, however it manifests in your mind, now ask yourself, what do I need to release? What do I need to release? And take a big, deep breath through your nose. And sigh out the answer. And you'll know the first thing you think, you'll know. Your body knows what you need. It may be as simple as just don't worry about it. You thought for so long you couldn't just not worry about it. If that's the answer, it's that easy. Maybe you need to meditate more on it. Maybe it's a gift. Maybe it's an apology. Maybe you must forgive yourself. Whatever the answer, breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. Listen to yourself. If you need to know why, if it doesn't make sense, continue meditating. Take your time. Don't rush. Just breathe. Just breathe. In your mind's eye, bring the solution out into your hand. If it's something you can't hold, watch it appear before you and send it towards the scene, the situation, the person, the event. Watch it enter that scene and transform it. The worries, the concerns, they dissolve. And what once was obsessive now is let go. Take your time. Take your time. It's right here, right now. You're not going to run out of now. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. If you have to feel, feel. Just like thoughts, feelings are feelings. They're not you, you just have them. If you have to cry, let the tears out. They're not good inside. Let them out. If you need to laugh, laugh. It's okay. If you need to hug, hug yourself. If you need to say something, say something. Let it out. Just feel. Just be. Just breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In your mind's eye, see yourself, the version of you that has already released this. See them across from you, 5, maybe 10 feet. What do they look like? What do they feel like? What do they smell like? Are they saying something? Are they doing something? Walk to that version of yourself. Listen to them. Feel them. Embrace them. Close your eyes as you do. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Stay relaxed. Keep relaxing. And when you open your eyes, you are them. Take your time and come out of that whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready. It's a very general meditation. It's a very general feeling, a very general meditation. Please do not do this while you're driving. Do not try to meditate while doing a thing. Unless it's a singular thing, a singular physical activity that you can meditate while doing, that you can at least somewhat be automatic in some way. You're just focusing on the motions of that automatic repetition. Doing the dishes is very meditative, yes? Cleaning can be meditative if done the right way. Walking meditation is real. And just keep that feeling with you as long as you can. If you forget it, okay, cool. That's okay. That's fine. There's no need to, you don't have to beat yourself up over, oh, I'm not the perfect meditative person. Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. No one's perfect, except you. But you're perfect the way you are. You're perfectly you right now. I hope that worked. If it didn't, I mean, let me know, Would love to give you a little meditation guidance personally. I really would. Um, I probably would have to find time or make time, but I love this. I did not do any of that. I need you to understand this. My words, you took them and agreed with them. And if you didn't, there you go. That's proof. I didn't do anything. You're the one doing something. You're the one meditating. You're the one breathing. It was very close to hypnotism, if not right on the nose. I'm not an expert at hypnotism myself, but I am definitely, I've been praised for the guidance that I give for meditations. And for a while, for a while, I wasn't super happy optimistic about it. I was, oh, you must be very serious. You must be, oh, my thoughts, oh, ground them to a pulp, destroy my thoughts. Way simpler than that. You don't need to go up against anything. There's no tension in this. There's no fighting. There's no demands. It's a small, tiny lack of activity. It's a little bit of breathing and a tiny bit of attention on it. And if you can focus your way into those in-between moments of thinking, you're going to find out how nice it is to just breathe. And eventually, if you do this enough, it only takes a couple of weeks to really feel like you've mastered it. A couple of weeks, once a day, 10, 20 minutes. I would recommend about half an hour, if not 25 minutes of focused, intentional breathing. You might have some really busy days. You might have some days where the thoughts are going at it the whole time. There's not a single break. And you might have some days where you are constantly at peace. That's okay. Variety's a spice of life, baby. Let it happen, okay? It could be for a number of reasons, and they're all personal. If not, something's happening outside, but it's the way that it's affecting you personally, okay? No judgments on that, all right? You're just doing your best with what you got. What you got is you right there in the moment. That's it. Don't try to layer those mentalities. And if you do, if you make a mistake or you go, oops, I did something wrong, cool. You're fine. You're fine. Again, this is just the start. Eventually, if you do this for long enough every day and you really pour some attention into yourself and you really just give yourself some time, invest in feeling just alive, you're going to become very sensitive to it. You're going to become so sensitive to your aliveness that you're going to end up feeling more alive than you ever have your whole life. Did I say graceful, blissful, saintly, Christ-like? No. Whatever you think is the most alive version of you, whatever you think is the best version of you, you'll become so much more sensitive to that. And it will become the major habit that you live like you're free of all enemies, of all pain, of all obfuscation. You will be free in your mind, and then your heart, your emotions, your feelings, and every thought afterwards will feel like a dream come true. And I wasn't perfect when I started over 10 years ago, and I wasn't perfect before, and I'm not perfect now. I'm still healing plenty. I'm still doing plenty of work on me. I have to. That's the whole point. That's what this is for. It's so that we can keep working towards better and better. And it never ends. It never ends. You'll never be bored of this. Because oddly enough, what people think is doing nothing is doing quite a bit. You're going to end up feeling like, wow, how did I ever live without this? And you're going to feel more peace on your busiest days than on your most peaceful days without it. You're going to feel happy on your bad days. You're going to feel like, wow, that was the worst day of my life. But you know what? At least I'm okay. I'm alive. On the days where you're not okay, you're going to be like, man, I can't wait to not be here. And you're going to be okay with leaving it behind. You're not going to take any pain with you. You're not going to take any of that suffering that you had with you into the future. You're going to be the best version of yourself going through that which you cannot control. And even better than that, on the days where something crazy happens and you have to go into extreme modes, you're going to be able to go through those modes with a sense of accuracy and attention and grace that is unparalleled to all of the ways that you used to encounter a bad situation. And it's great. It's fantastic. Did it work for you? Let me know. I want to know. Did it feel good? Let me know. I want to know. Was it shit? Tell me. Tell me. Go ahead. I don't care. I really don't. I used to be afraid of that. That's what I was in my mind dealing with. Had this, and it's not even real. It's not even a real situation for me, right? I'm dealing with stuff that I'm making up in my head, fears about being called fake and bullshit, and you just you suck. You don't even know what you're talking about. You haven't done this. You haven't done that. Not having pre-qualifiers and all of this other stuff. That was a scene in my mind. And me, I've talked with myself, my best version of myself, multiple times in my mind. I just saw it. I was already me. What am I going to do? I mean, like, yeah, that happens. It's okay. One day you won't have to walk over to your better self. One day you're going to be that person. Are you not them already? I feel like you are. I feel like if I saw you, I'd be like, how are you? I wouldn't know any of your fears if I walked up to you. I wouldn't know what's wrong with you at all. You know, there are people who, you know, they're in wheelchairs, they've got a cast, you know, they're missing an arm, whatever. I don't care. You're inside. You're you. You are the thing that makes your heart pump. Just like me. And I love you. I love that. I love that you're there. It's great to meet new people. There we go. Okay, now I'm getting off the deep end. Okay, so I'm going to take a few minutes and just talk about all the things that I'm busy with, because it's been almost an hour. Look at that. And I know a lot of people, they go, what? That was 30 minutes? What are you talking about? That happens a lot. Meditation, it shrinks up a lot of time. And it's because it feels good. It definitely warps time. Imagine how that could warp your work day, huh? I've totally done that, by the way. I want to be you know, a little bit focused on me, if you will. We're going to go ahead and talk about all of the things that I'm doing. I have just restarted, or started again, started back up, doing a kind of like an audiobook, a live read through of Dune, Frank Herbert's classic. It's a really good book, not because of all the stuff that's dated. Obviously, there's some stuff in there that just don't make sense, but there is a lot of history packed into this, a lot of references to the things that were going on in current events around that time, but it's also about awareness. It's really keen on meditation and what it means to be truly awake and alive. And it puts it through the sci-fi, very like grounded royal, kind of Game of Thronesy feel, filter. And it's fantastic. It really is like great for our time. Obviously the movies are coming out. That's why I started them a while back, like 2 years ago. But now I'm reading it through again. I just finished chapter 8 recording, and I'm going to be posting that on Sunday. So if you like audiobooks and you want to see that, please check out the rest of my channel. It's there in a playlist. I also am doing writing. I have written, it's a little overexposed. Sorry about that. Stop it. There we go. Okay. I have written a poetry collection called 114 Quixotic Visions. No, it's not a meditation guidebook. No, it's not a vision quest. No, it's just a story, not a story. It's a poetry collection with all these phases of my life. I can't believe this. I forgot the phases. There's an intro poem, and then there's part 1, imagination, part 2, disillusionment, part 3 is idleness, when I felt I was stuck, but I was doing the things that I felt were right. Part 4 is despair, when all the things in my life were challenging me. Part 5 is surrender, accepting despair. That's what that means. And part 6 is something. It's kind of like that line, I don't believe in God, but I believe in something. That is what that section deals with. It's kind of like my first glimpse into the next book, which is called Gray, which I don't have a copy of. I'm going to show it next week, but I just released one this week, like July 3rd. Was that last week? Nope, that's still this week. Okay. July 3rd, I released my second book, my second collection of poems called Gray. And it's got 2 semicolons on each side. And the idea behind it is back in like 2015, I had done a meditation and I just wanted to know the bottom line, like what was there really. And I had this vision, no dogma, no God, no Jesus, no nothing, right? No self, nothing. And it was like a very strange mixture of gray shades. And out of that darkness came this image of what looked like an owl, and it ended up being the flow of time, the eternal symbol, right? Eternity, infinity, the infinity symbol. But it was in this, it was like made up of I don't know. It was this amorphous thing, and it felt like the shape of an owl, its eyes, and it didn't speak. I didn't get words. I just asked, like, what are you? And it just like I just felt it being a watching thing, the watching present moment, eternal. So it's semicolon, gray, semicolon, and that's with an A because I'm American, yo. My wife kept bugging me about that. She was like, I don't like the way you spelled gray. It's, I like the British gray with an E. And you know what? I did it with an A because I'm American. So, meh. And I looked it up beforehand too because I also had that same issue. I was like, is it E or A? I'm not really sure. and yeah, I'm very proud of the works. I shared them with a bunch of friends. I didn't get a ton of ARC reviewers because I'm just starting, but yeah. And the next book is going to be a novella, and I can't wait. One day I'm going to collect all the poems from these episodes, put them in a book as well. So look forward to that. I think I'm going to do it around like episode 40. That'll probably be a good amount. You know what I mean? Anyway, thank you for listening. If you liked what you heard, please share, subscribe, that kind of thing. And if you want to support me directly, those books are there. And if you buy them, I become a little bit more wealthy. So really appreciate that. Thank you very much for being here. I'm comfy here, and I hope you are too. And I would love to hear comments. I would love to see what you guys think and what is it that you want. And is there anything that you felt I did wrong? I would love to hear about that. But I also wouldn't mind some praise. If you guys want to congratulate me or say, oh my God, this worked or whatever, whatever you need to say, go ahead and let me know. This is all about you guys. I'm only doing this so that somebody finds it and they just feel a little better no matter what. So take care. Thank you. And see you next time.